Hey, how's it going guys? JK from SyncCraft, and I'm here today with a combat beta video. I've got all of the, well, most of the new armors and stuff in here. Well, I don't know why I got two planets. What is? In this tab in my bank, and I'm gonna show you them all and like show you the stats and do a little review on it. So I'm pretty sure everyone wants to see Bandos, because it's had a massive revamp, and I don't know what all of it is. So I'm just gonna search it. Oh, Bandos. Right, there it is. Because there's boots, gloves, and a kite shield to go with it now, and a helm. So if you see here, it says like armor, 1120 life bonus, class melee, and everything is like a bonus now. And if I put that all on, it looks pretty badass. And not gonna lie, and that shield is very nice. Yeah, I'm liking that shield a lot. If you see, my health's gone like that. So hang on, I did get. Not a lot actually. I probably should have got some more, but I did get some brew flasks just to. Oh wow, they really have nerfed brews. They only heal 500, and a rocktail heals a lot more than that. Okay, I'll just grab some rocktails from my bank then. Yeah, if you notice when you eat, it shows how much you've healed above you, which is quite nice. And then I'll just get up to max. Oh, looks like yep, 9,969, but obviously that's a Rocktail life points boost as well, don't forget. So yeah, that's Bandos, and it looks really quite nice, I thought. I think the boots and the gloves will be a good addition to the and the shield and helm, sorry, will be a good addition to Godwall's dungeon. It will sort of revamp it, make a lot of people kind of want to go back there, or go there for the first time. So yeah, if I just wipe that away now. Next thing will be Torva. I'll show all the melee sets first, and then I'll go on to Mage and then range. Torva now looks absolutely badass, with the gloves and boots that finally match it. Yeah, this is gonna obviously again revamp necks and give it some more drops. Hopefully they'll make the drop chance lower though, so because it's a minute, I think it's a bit easy to get next items from. That's why the price has crashed so much. But either way, I do think this is a really nice looking set, and I like this panel here that shows you the defensive info, like your total armor. We're not really quite sure what this means yet. Obviously, it's how much armor you have on all your pieces put together, but in terms of how much damage that'll block or absorb, I'm not sure yet. I think it's a 7,200 bonus. So I think that's less than Bandos. Just checking Bandos now, and that is less than Bandos, but that's because Bandos has a shield. So yeah, I'm guessing without the shield it's less, which makes sense. But okay, let's look at the next melee set. Okay, I decided I'd do the all the next sets because I forgot there weren't any other melee sets really updated. Yeah, but this is the full Pernix, including the boots and gloves. You can see the stats there, with an armor of 320, life boost of 360, and the same on that, 337. It's a bit of a weird number. The life boost is quite high. The armor is still quite high as well, considering it's ranging armor. So yeah, this looks like they have improved the defensive stats. I've never owned Pernix before, so if I'm wrong, I apologise, but it does look like they've boosted it up a little bit. Okay, the next kind of stuff is these shields that I was going to show you. They're new ranging shields. Jagex have quite flawlessly missed out red dragonhide. Don't know why, but if we look at the green dragonhide, it gives a 25% range offense. I don't know what that means, but it looks absolutely rubbish. It looks like, I don't know whether that's a glitch, or what, but it's similar size to avoid deflector, if you've ever seen one of them. And then the blue is the same size, and they all give the same range bonus. It looks, it just changes your life and armor bonus. But there's also these lower level ones, like a leather shield, which does that. Yeah, and that looks, it's still got the weird little sticky out thing. I don't know whether it's meant to have that or not, but then it goes up to hard leather, and then studded leather. All give a life point boost, so These will probably be quite effective at low levels. I think we're going to see a lot of people using these now. Um, but yeah, they do look a bit stupid because they're just stuck onto your back with that little stick. But I assume that's a glitch. I'm not sure. To go with the new shields, we also have the new boots, which is studded leather boots. As obviously studded leather gloves. Sorry, studded leather boots. Yeah, so we have the new boots and gloves. Apologies. And then though I couldn't find the hard leather gloves. I don't know if they've missed them out, but there's just hard leather boots there, which yeah they do seem to give a bonus, but not a lot. 45 life points isn't exactly gonna save your life, but any bonus is better than none, I suppose. But yeah, I think with this increased armor, it's going to be a bit confusing at first. Not a lot of people are going to know what to get and where to go for it. Okay, next up we have the Carcapace boots and equipment set. This does look really quite funky. It looks like it's made from a bug. The cockroaches come to mind when I see this because of these things. So I don't know, maybe the stronghold of security with all the cockroaches in, maybe that'll be getting a revamp. It does give quite a high boost to life points. I don't quite know what the level is required for this. I don't think it says in here. We'll just look. Equipment. Oh, they've put it in 30 range and 30 defense needed for that. So with the 30 range and defense, we can expect it to be similar to snakeskin armor almost, requiring the same stats, requiring the same levels to wield. Sorry, so the stats should be relatively similar, but we don't know. Okay, the next or final ranging set is the Armadial set, including a Armadial buckler, which I think a buckler is a shield. But the full set does look really quite nice. It looks a bit weird though with the new posture, the way he stands. His legs just look a lot fatter. I don't know, the Runescape characters have gained weight. Again with this like brown stick, I think that's a glitch. But yeah, I do it looks a bit weird. You look sort of, yeah, it just looks really quite weird. It gives a massive life point boost though, but I think that's the buckler mainly. Yeah, it gives a 1,600 boost, which is more than the chest piece. So it looks like the bucklers and the ranged shields do give a very high do give a very high life point boost. So we could see them being used a lot more over sort of things like unholy books and the kite shields from dungeoneering, such as Eagle Eye Kite Shield. Next up is just the wizard gloves, simply to go with the blue wizard set. They give a 4 life point boost. They look pretty cool. The way they've now implemented the fingers into this. It's a shame you can't really see what the offensive stats are for them, which is a bit of a shame, but oh well. They do look quite nice, but yeah, and the 4 life point boost, I don't think many people will be wearing these just because it's not going to be worth the extra money for the 4 boost, whereas you can have a higher boost from things that don't require defense, such as a combat bracelet. Next up we have the full imp robe set, and I really like this set. I think that looks absolutely amazing with the little horns and the detail on the front is really intricate. It only has a total life bonus of 855, but it's a not very high required magic set. But yeah, I do think that looks really nice. This is really well done by Jagex on the graphics on this one. And yeah, the armor's looking nice in general. The total armor is really quite low, again with all robes it normally is, but I was expecting magic to get a little bit of a boost at least. And there's the boots, sorry I forgot to show that bit. It's 30 more armor, or 40 more armor, my bad, and 7 more life points. But yeah, the life point boost on this is relatively high. Next up is full spider silk, and this again looks absolutely amazing. That visor kind of style slash hood with the netting over your eyes, I assume that's supposed to be cobwebs, and the miniature cape sort of going on. I really like this armor, and the color scheme works really quite well. It gives quite a high bonus to your life points. That's like 3 times your life points if you're like including your original. So say you only have 900 life points, you're gonna have a lot more. Well, it's 3 times as much, and this is quite low leveled maging gear. It's got a total armor of 660. I think that's exactly double of the imp hide. And the level required for this, if we just have a look. So yeah, the imp hide requires 10 magic and 10 defense, and the spider silk requires 20 magic and 20 defense. So it's only 20 defense and 20 magic, but it gives a lot higher bonus. So it's sort of a mystic in terms of defensive stats, but it's got lower offensive stats, I'd assume, because it's 20 magic, not 40. Next up, I was quite lucky. I had a mystic set in my bank just lying around, but there's a mystic shield to go with it, and that looks really quite nice, although it doesn't really match the set, is all I'm thinking. And it wouldn't match the dark one either, because the dark one is really quite black now. I don't know if they'll make more colours of it, but if we look at the shield by itself, it does give a huge life point bonus. For only level 40 magic and 20 defense, it is a absolutely huge bonus. As with all the shields, I think having a shield is going to be a very strong defensive kind of thing now, as opposed to having 2 weapons, and you're really going to have to weigh up your options. Next up is just the split bark shield. Again, it gives quite a high life point boost and some armor. It looks quite nice as well. I like the way they've sort of tied what looks like a sort of like a nature rune is like tied to it. But yeah, I don't think we see this one used too much because no one really uses split bark at all. So you could have Mystic for the same price. Something quite interesting is that Mystic has been lowered to 30 defense and 30 magic requirement. I didn't notice. I thought it was still 40. So in terms of the stats that the shield gives, that is really quite high, and that's a lot higher than split bark. So I think they might need to nerf the Mystic shield a bit, or buff up the split bark shield. I haven't checked out the split bark armor yet because I don't have it, and there's no grand exchange on this, I don't think. But yeah, so we'll look at some other armor stats now. Next up is the bat wing armor. This looks really quite nice as well. It's not as nice as the others, but I do like the little wing kind of style effects on the shoulders, as well as the yellow dots. Sort of remind me of the polypore sort of gear. The back looks a bit plain, but yeah, from the front it looks quite nice, and that is quite a really quite high boost to your life points. It requires 50 magic and 50 defense. As with all mage sets, they require defense now, but yeah, I think that does look really quite nice. This is the Batwing shield. It looks more sort of like a raven shield or like a hawk shield because it looks like feathers and then a hawk eye. But yeah, the life point boost is, I think that's again lower than Mystic, and the total armor is higher. But yeah, this I assume that this armor will be dropped from bats, hence the name, and the same with the spider will be dropped from the spiders, and the imps will be hide will be dropped from the imps. But yeah, I'm just assuming that they'll be dropped from that, which could see them quite popularly used because bats are quite a few people train on bats, surprisingly. And yeah, we could see a lot more people going to stuff like that to train. To the Grapholic set, they've added a kite shield and gloves. The kite shield looks rubbish. I mean, you can barely see that. It's absolutely tiny, and yeah, how it's called a kite shield I do not know. But the gloves look okay, I guess. They just make your hands look a bit mouldy. Yeah, I'm not really a fan of the Grapholic set. I was when it came out. I thought it looked quite different and cool, and but now I don't really like it, and I don't think this will be used a lot because Grapholic is quite expensive to maintain and to purchase in the first place. Next up is the full Ganodermic, including the gloves and the boots, and I really want to see the Mage absorption bonus now with the gloves and boots on this, because it was extremely high before. I think it was 56%. So with these two as well, it will probably be borderlining sort of 62 to 65%. Yeah, I think in terms of stats as well, I think it's nearly identical to Virtus, so they really need to nerf Ganodermic or buff Virtus, or just make this harder to get, as it's quite easy to obtain in the first place. I do think the gloves work really well. And the boots, obviously they complete the set, but there was no really matching sort of set you could use for this. because most people would use Infinity Boots for the magic offensive bonus, but yeah, I think that now they've finally completed it, it looks really quite nice, and we could see an increase in people at Ganodermic Beasts. Now for full Virtus, this does look really quite cool. I've always been quite a fan of Virtus, I like the mask, but now the gloves and the boots just really do complete the set, and they do give a very high life point boost. There is no Virtus shield, but there is a Virtus something else. Little spoiler right there. As with every set I've shown you, there is a bonus item for them, which I'll show in a second. But the Virtus set is now complete with the gloves and the boots, and there's the stats of the boots, and again for the gloves. They're identical, so if you can only afford one or the other, it probably doesn't matter. Just whichever you can get your hands on, really. Like again, I think we could see an increase at necks. Obviously, people trying to obtain the drops. The only sort of melee weapons I have to show are the Torag's hammer. That looks absolutely badass now. Just look at that. That's crazy. It says it has a damage of 808. I don't know what that means. I don't think it means it's only going to hit 808s, or whether it's a max or what. But I do think that looks really quite nice. It's got a speed of average, and I thought Torag's hammers were quite slow. So I don't know, we could see maybe some attack speeds have been increased or decreased, we'll see. Next thing with the God Sword, I just wanted to show that there is no special attack anymore. It will be here, and so all the God Swords have been balanced out in terms of stats, so AGS will drop dramatically in price, as no one likes doing Amardial. People only done it because the AGS was worth the most, but now it won't be. Amardial will probably be a dead boss. Now probably something that a lot of people would have wanted to see, I assume, is the 2 rune crossbows. The dual wielding effect. They do the same damage and they have the exact same stats, which is weird because offhand weapons in other game MMOs and stuff tend to have lower hitting damage but faster hit rates. But they both seem to be the exact same. But the thing that most people are probably wondering is it better than the Rune 2H crossbow? And I'm not sure. The stats are a lot lower, but I think that the damage output from 2 will probably surpass the damage from 1 two-hander. But this does give a life point boost as well of quite a high amount. Another thing that could be hinting at a new boss or drop from a previous boss is the Dragon two-hander crossbow. There are no Dragon one-handers that I could find, but maybe they'll release them as well. But yeah, here's the Dragon two-hand crossbow, and this could either be dropped from a boss that's already out, or it could be a new boss sprung out completely, which will be interesting to see. The final thing I have to show you today are the wands and orb combination. I do think they look quite cool. Some of them have books, some have orbs, as you'll see, but yeah, I do think they look quite nice. They do give a magic offense, and I think you could equip this with something else in your offhand. If there's any offhand staffs like single-handed staves, you could have the wand and the staff, and it'd look quite nice, and could deal quite potentially high damage. They don't give a life point boost from what I can see, but this is because it's just a wizard set. If we go on to the other sets, there's the Imp Hide, which again, I'm quite a fan of the Imp Hide. I mean, it does look really nice. That wand as well, and then the bat. Interesting. I think the bat. I think they will give the same damage. Yeah, they do. They will give the same damage bonus. So I guess it's just whatever you can wield, which seems quite odd. But I think the hit bonus is the only thing that changes. Got the spider set as well. Interesting, you wield the wand on the same side as the orb, and it seems to float, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, I think if these are dropped from the obvious monsters, then I think they're going to have to release a place, because imps aren't exactly in a place where there's a lot of them. Okay, now we got the mystic set, but the orb's on the opposite side this time. The one looks quite nice as well. It's a sort of a straight wand. Now for the split bark. The split bark's almost invisible in your inventory, but on your person that does look really quite cool. I think this looks a bit weird though. Looks like you're carrying something that's sneezing. But if you put it in your inventory, you can barely see that. I think that is a graphical glitch there at the minute. This is the Grapholic set. It looks more so of a dagger than a wand, because it is handpiece. But I do think again it looks quite nice. However, I think it'll be fairly expensive and not a lot of people who use it. There is this huge graphical glitch with Armours that I've just noticed. The book looks nice, and you can sort of see the wand, but it's quite long. It looks more like a short sword. But yeah, there's a green ball on the end. I think that's supposed to be the same with a staff. When you have a staff and there's a little green orb in the top, I think that's just a glitch. Well, I hope it is anyway, and it's not designed like that. There was no Ganodermic wand or book. I don't know if that's intended or not, but oh well. And then this is the Virtus one, which, yeah, the Virtus one looks really quite nice, but this looks more sort of a sword, like a short sword or a dagger, than a wand. But oh well, and it does give a very high hit bonus on these. Alright then guys, that was sort of my review on the new armours and weapons that you can buy out the front. I would be doing one on the Chaotix as well, however I can't equip them because I don't have 80 Dungeoneering or the tokens, which is a bit of a fail on Jagex. I think they should have had an option as well as to start from level 1 as to be instant max, so you can try everything, but oh well, we'll just have to see. Anyway guys, thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you later.